What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles. You're listening to Lyles Movie Files. Got most of the gang tonight. Chief, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Shout out to everybody out there listening, and shout out to the fellas who do the show. That I do this great thing with.
Indeed. Jay King, what's shaking in your world?
Man, everything, man. Back to school, back to peace, back to freedom, back to life, back to reality. Everybody, thank you for joining us. We love doing it for you. What's good, my brethren? I enjoy this. This is one of the best parts of my week, so it's a wonderful thing when I'm on here with y'all.
Indeed. Jace, what's up with you, little brother?
Nothing much. I don't have a soul to soul like Javon, but hey, I'm living, and that's a good thing. Get this thing started.
All right, so let's get things started right away. And I'm just going to start with the movie that I saw last night, and I can always tell how a movie review is going to go based on how quickly I feel I need to write it. So I watched Happytime Murders last night. This is the movie with Melissa McCarthy. She's a detective, and she's teamed up with a puppet. This is a world where puppets and humans come together. And this is a film that's kind of like the dark side of Sesame Street and the Muppets. And the trailers, and the Red Band trailer especially, show just what kind of film audiences are in for. A lot of cursing, puppet sex, and all kinds of racy craziness. So before I talk about my thoughts on the film, fellas, what were your initial impression when you saw this trailer? Did you think, hey, this is something I could be interested in? Or did the warning signs come up? Chief, let's start with you.
I saw the previews for it. I think I was waiting for the review to come out on Live Movie Files before I even attempted to go see this one. This is one of those ones where I got to go with the number one reviewer. I wasn't prepared to spend any amount of money before I heard what was going on with it. It looked kind of cheesy, like a grade B Roger Rabbit. So, no, like I said, I didn't hear any reviews. I didn't see anything. I saw the commercials for it. It seemed a little raunchy. I knew it wasn't for kids. No, I didn't have any intention of going to see it until I found out, if it was any good. I gotta save my $30 when I go to the movies now.
Chief, you reminded me of something, and I have to give a real shout out to the audience of which I saw the Happytime Murders. There was no evidence of bad parenting last night. There were no kids, no babies whatsoever. They didn't get fooled in by the puppets. They saw the trailers. It was like, this one is not for the kids. Shout out to my audience who actually paid attention and showed some responsible parenthood. Javon, what you think about this?
Oh, yeah, I was cashed out of that before I even look. When your theatrical trailer features a 30-second gag of puppet jizz, I'm out. I'm not even done. I won't even, if it was free passes, like your goofy radio station is giving away tickets, I would have left them there and asked them, look, do y'all have coasters or something else you can give me, like a T-shirt? I would have left them passes right with the station. There's nothing there. It's Melissa McCarthy with puppets saying curse words and having sex and doing drugs and being raunchy. I mean, I don't know, man. If I was 12, maybe that would have appealed to me, but nah, not even 12. It just looked dumb. And this is what I was saying before, with these movies they have her in are just wastes of her talent. Total waste. And I know she had to carry the whole thing, didn't she?
Man, she had, let me see, a full 8-piece luggage set.
Wow.
And she worked hard, man. I mean, I felt bad for her because it was like, she's funny and she's working so hard. You can almost see the sweat on her brow in every scene because she's just trying to make it work. And it's like, man, Melissa, you really need somebody who's going to just find that awesome bridesmaids kind of role for you, where you don't have to look silly and goofy, but can be funny, and you can, you don't have to carry the whole load yourself. This one, man, you could see the strain she was under trying to make this work.
It looked like it. It looked like it. With that movie looked really thin. And look, the puppets and the sight gags aside, when you are relying on that to sell your movie, it's going to be a bad situation. It's going to be a bad film. So I don't know what's it going to take for her to get a real project again, man. I don't know. She's doomed to this. Like, just whatever comes down the pipeline, I'll do these terrible comedies from now until. Hopefully it gets better for her.
Yeah. She is the one person that I wish somebody creative at Warner Brothers would go, we should put her into a comic book movie. And it's not like there's not a lot of characters that Melissa McCarthy would be well suited for, but there is a kind of a fringe character who's dates back to the 1940s with the Justice Society of America. Red Tornado, the original woman, and she's kind of has that physique, and you can put her into the costume, and it's just like a lady with no powers, just trying to do her thing. But the kind of catch with it is they could put some of those other heroes, the Green Lanterns, the Flash, alongside her as the iconic ones, but she's dressed up in this outfit where nobody even knows that she's a woman, and she's just trying to do her thing to stop Nazis and help clean up her block. And she's kind of has that roll up your sleeves kind of mentality that I think people would really respond to well with her in that kind of role.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to make it happen.
That's just me spitballing. Jace, what did you think about the trailers for Happytime Murder, and did it make you interested in seeing this film?
The trailers, they gave me that, okay, if they actually just don't try and go with the, like, toilet humor, maybe this is going to be okay. But when you saw puppets and then you saw the real toilet humor, you're just like, yeah, free passes, like Jerron said, free passes isn't going to be enough to get me to go see this one. If you said it was a good movie, I'd have been like, let me think about it, and have I seen everything else? But I mean, after just your certain lack of enthusiasm for after you talked about this movie, I'm quite glad that I was not invited to see this one with you. So thanks for that one.
Okay, so the deal with this is, it is like going to a comedy show and hearing a comedian tell one joke the same way and expecting you to laugh for 90 minutes. There's no depth to it. There's no like, oh, that was clever. And I think what really stood out to me in watching this was, I'm a huge fan of the Muppets, the Muppet Show, pretty much anything involving the Muppets. I had the game on my phone because I love the Muppets so much. They're really clever and smart and witty. And as a child, I liked Muppet humor one way, but as an adult, I can see the other side, like, oh, that was funny. I see there were two different ways they could take that level, or that joke. You could take it from the child level where it's like, Kermit's flying around. But if you listen to the joke that set that up, it kind of works as you're an adult. But this movie is like, hey, hopefully you're down with sixth grade humor and puppets cursing the whole time and just hoping that'll get you through with the comedy. Because there was nothing to it. It was like, okay, puppets having sex. And that's one scene. Puppets doing drugs. Puppets being sleazy skeezy, having plastic surgery or bleaching their skin to look more human. And it was just like, wow, this could be funny. But it needed a better writer who could not go the easy, lazy route with every punchline. So, fellas, y'all made the right call. And so far, from everything that y'all have seen, because I think when the year goes down, I think this one is definitely going to be one of my contenders for the worst film. But what have y'all seen so far that would qualify for your worst film of 2018? Chief, let's start with you.
My worst movie of this year? Trying to think. Gosh, I gotta go back to see what I've seen this year. Right. I hit me off the cuff. I'm trying to think everything I saw this year. I've seen a terrible movie.
Okay, let me do it this way. Y'all are smarter. What was the one movie trailer or commercial you saw this year that you're like, there is absolutely no way I'm putting down 2 pennies to see this film? Like, I know this is gonna be trash, and I'm not gonna see it. You can't include this one.
Oh man, okay.
So Javon, you got one?
Wrinkle in Time, because I knew that was something I was gonna have to see. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was gonna have to see it, and when I looked at this, I saw the trailer. I said, "This is a waste of everyone's time involved, from the kids to the grip to the craft services folks. This is a waste of everyone's time. Nobody's gonna see this movie." When they show Oprah, Reese Witherspoon, and what's her name, Mindy Kaling, all standing together as the all-knowing best multicultural friends Benetton ever, I was like, yeah, this is gonna stink. And I'm gonna have to take a couple of little girls to this movie, and they're gonna love it. I'm gonna hear about this for the next 3 weeks. So yeah, that's right up there. That's up there for 2018 for me.
Gotcha.
Man.
So Chief, how about you? What was one that you were like, I'm not touching this one at all?
The Rock's got 2 of them that I knew I wasn't gonna see.
Oof.
I knew I wasn't gonna go see Skyscraper, and I knew I wasn't gonna see Rampage. So I have no idea what they did in the theaters. I just knew that I wasn't attending. And I did not. I see them, like, I go to my Amazon Prime now, and I see Rampage sitting there. I'm like, nah, that's a movie that I won't be buying, even on Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna pay the $14.99 for that. I have no interest in seeing those 2 movies at all. And I don't know why it hit me that like it did, but when I saw the previews for them, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna see that. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna do it. And I didn't. So.
And you did not.
I did not. So I knew that that wasn't gonna happen. Now, I had no interest in seeing Solo, but I know eventually when it comes on cable, I'll probably sit down and watch it. Same with the Meg. You know what I mean? But Skyscraper and Rampage, I was like, nah. When I saw the leg come off on the trailer, I was like, oh, no. I said he's doing all this with one leg? I said, nah, I'm good.
I'm good,
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then like I said, the Rampage joint, man, it just looked, nah. And to be honest with you, fellas, it might be on me, man. I told you, I think we discussed this before, man. I think I'm just sick of The Rock. Like, I was watching, I realized that I had not seen the Fast and Furious, the last one, all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the movie theaters to see it. I realized I didn't watch it. I still haven't seen it all the way through, but I thought it was on the other day, and from whatever point it was on, I watched the rest of it. I got the gist of what happened, so on and so forth. And The Rock, he at one point, he pops in and doing whatever he does in those movies, and I just remember just being like, you're back, huh? Like, I'm just. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I like The Rock. You know what I mean? I've gone to see most of his movies, but it's just I think that they're pumping out so many at this time, and none of them are quality. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're just quantity at this point.
The Rock is the golden corral of movies. I'm just gonna keep pumping it out there. It ain't gotta be good. You gonna eat it though.
Right. How many times can you go back for the cheese fondue? I just so, and I'm telling you, man, I'm done. I'm done with, like I said, I had no intention of seeing it. So those are the Rock movies. Both Rock movies I knew I wasn't gonna see. Now he may come out with a movie next month, and I'm like, yo, I gotta go see this. But those two right there, I knew I wasn't gonna enjoy at all, and I'm still not. And they will not even get my. There you have it. Sorry, Rock. Please don't beat me when you see me in the streets.
All right, Jace. How about you?
You guys hear me now?
I hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry about the delay. So as soon as this movie was announced on the big calendar for movies this year, I knew I had 0.0000 to infinity chances of seeing this movie. And yes, we're talking about Teen Titans Go. I have hated the way they've done Teen Titans since they've actually done them on Cartoon Network. And to actually have a big screen adaptation of them, I also wanted to remind them that I was going to be nowhere near the movie theater the week it actually came out, just to make sure that it didn't think that it was helping the overall box office of releasing that movie. So that was one of the movies. The second one is not been released, but I have no intention of seeing it unless there's no way. Is The Predator. There is no excuse to make just looking at the cast, you're just like, I shake all you guys' hands for just trying to make this movie? And none of you guys look like this is going to be horrible, but I don't think any of you look like your action hero going to stop a killing machine that goes on different worlds to,
Did Adrian Brody look like an action hero star?
Did I see that one?
No.
That was good.
I don't remember a damn thing about that movie. Other than them falling onto the planet, I don't remember anything.
Crazy
else.
Larry Fishburne? Nothing?
Nope.
Oh.
Name.
Now, if you say Aliens versus Predator, where you're just like, ooh, look at the people about to die for Aliens versus Predator. Like, Sanaa Lathan might make it out. Ooh, I don't even know. I think she might have at the end.
She did.
Yeah, I think so. But Predator, no. It's like, Sterling K. Brown, hey man, great acting. Glad to see you got some. It's looking like your year. They're finally getting you in some movies, and that's cool. But no, that's not gonna get done. Sorry.
Black man
I'm
work.
actually looking forward to seeing that one.
Well, you can tell me how it is.
I will. All right. So since there can't be a week where we don't get a new remake coming down the pike, got a new one. Kenya Barris and Yamara Taylor, two of the folks behind Blackish, are going to be working. This is their final ABC Studios project. After which he's going off to Netflix. He's already signed that deal with them to produce Netflix content. But right now he's got one last thing coming down the pipeline for ABC, and that is, let's see, a remake of a 60s sitcom. I gave you that clue. Let's see who can come up with it.
The Jeffersons?
No.
60s, right?
Yep.
Surfside 6.
No. You're making that up, man. You got to make that up, right?
All right. Good times?
Nope.
60s.
Hey, man, what's been a common theme of a lot of these reboots? We're changing the original cast and throwing a little diversity in the mix.
Archie Bunker?
Archie
Bunker. You got way too quiet. I was actually afraid. I'm like, no.
No, I was thinking that wouldn't actually be bad. No. Chief, you got any ideas?
On a reboot?
Yeah. 1960s.
A TV reboot?
Yep.
1960s.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've seen it at some point during its many runs in syndication.
Green Acres.
They've made a movie remake of this already.
Oh, no.
Leave the Beaver?
Nope. Siobhan, you think you know it?
Beverly Hillbillies?
No, sir.
Oh, wow, okay.
Bewitched.
They've already... Oh, God.
Oh, Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was garbage. That's why nobody remembered that. Pure unadulterated garbage. It wasn't even like half. It wasn't even decent. Like you couldn't. And I didn't even go to the movies to see that either. I caught that on cable. And I'm a fan of old girl who played the part of Nicole Kidman who played But nah, I ain't even. I was like, yo, I don't even know. Like, you ever watch a movie and then you say this? I'm like, who did they make this for? Like, it's too silly for adults, but then it doesn't fit in that child genre or that teenage genre. It's goofy as hell, and that was that was Bewitched. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, well, they're giving it another go. This time, it's going to feature Samantha, a black, hardworking single mom who happens to be a witch. Who marries...
You
Why she gotta be single? Why she gotta be a single mom?
And she's hardworking.
I didn't finish the whole spiel.
All right, go ahead.
So she's a black, hardworking single mom who happens to be a witch who marries Darren, a white mortal who happens to be a bit of a slacker. They struggle to navigate their differences.
Oh,
sorry, it's taking... Yeah. Okay, so they struggle to navigate their differences as she discovers that even when a black girl is literally magic, wink wink, she's still not as powerful as a decently tall white man with a full head of hair in America.
Oh my
I don't know. That almost sounds like
Takes the privilege.
Pitch.
Takes the privilege.
What do you think, fellas?
Nothing.
That's garbage.
It's garbage. Look it. I would like to see diversity. When it comes to interracial couples, I would like to see a little more diversity than the white male with the black woman, because they're pumping that narrative down our throat for I don't know how long now. And it's not opposed or any opposition. It's just there's so many other versions of interracial couples we can explore, y'all. And the premise
man, not on the CW.
Right. And the premise to the Bewitched don't work no more. There's certain things that you can't reboot it, you can't remake it because it was a time capsule. It belonged in the era that it was in. That's it. Bewitched now don't work because Samantha, first thing she's gonna do, I'm a witch. I'm just money, okay? I'm not poor anymore. Problem solved. I'm bewitched, so instead of my loser boyfriend, I'm gonna be with whoever, The Rock or whatever turns my fancy. Henry Cavill, whoever. It don't matter. It don't work. It's like Adventures in Babysitting.
Let me ask you this though.
What up?
So so you got your woman, whoever that might be, you dating your female. And you might have kids with her, you might not. You know what I mean? I'm not putting anybody's status out there like that online, but I'm just saying you may have kids, you may not. Now, for the most part, nothing is magical about your woman in a mystical sense.
No.
How the hell do you leave a magical woman to raise a child alone? Listen, if your woman
is going to be fun.
So if your woman was a witch, would she really be single? I mean, you know what kind of lifestyle that would be for you? You can't leave no witch and go back to no regular woman.
No.
Let's be honest. So that fails right there off the top. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let's say the one power she can't have is she can't create love, but attraction. Like, maybe we put that away. She has to deal with everything else in real life. I mean, she can do anything else she wants, but she can't make attraction or people fall in love with her.
But she's a witch.
Why are we poor?
Okay, but
even if I mean, a single witch.
A single witch.
They already messed up there.
They already messed up.
You know what I mean? They already messed up there. You're not gonna let no witch woman go. I wouldn't.
Drop that.
You know what I mean?
I think
after sex, entertain me, baby. You know what I mean? I mean,
Anything.
just whatever.
If she can help out with traffic, I appreciate that. Now, I mean,
Exactly.
that right
This is
there,
the
like,
Hey, come on. How can you get?
like,
But-
have any of you ever rode a unicorn into work?
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Right. Imagine
makes
getting off
Tom
your
Brady
mighty
throw an
unicorn
interception.
steed. Yeah.
They make Tom Brady throw an interception
You're not
right
gonna
here.
do that.
Oh gosh, yeah, exactly.
oh yeah.
Come
Right.
on now.
And
You know
make
what
them
I'm
run the ball in
You
end
know what
zone.
I'm saying?
Rewind that play and make them run instead of passing.
Right. Let's just be honest. You're not gonna leave a single witch. Come on. Let's stop that right now.
Okay, all right.
So we already know.
Okay,
the truth
Guy
on that.
got her greatest love died, and now she's getting over that, and that's how we get to she doesn't know how to love again.
So she picked some dude to
Jason,
be slack.
I gotta try and pitch this somewhere because you guys are making too good a point. So let's,
I'm just saying,
what do you
on your
got?
way, like if I died right now, on my descent into hell, and as I'm looking back at my life, I'd be like, yo, why is she not coming to get me? She's a witch. She could just bring me back in my body. Like I'd be messed up. That's what witches do. Stay on, bring me back. You know what I mean? What the hell did I die for? Bring me back. So
But she wouldn't
listen,
be the
it doesn't
same
work
if
for
you
me.
came back.
It's not gonna work.
All right.
It's not gonna work for me, man. Just do the little nose thing. And whose nose is that? What girl we gonna give her the nose?
Right.
Who's got a cute nose? Who's gonna play the part? You can't. It's all about the nose. You can't have no wild looking nose out there. You know what I mean? So,
You can't have a super ethnic nose.
right. It's got to be. It's got to be a 1 2 2 2 2. How she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be some people to consider. I like the girl from the Fast and Furious, the new girl that joined. She's from Game of Thrones too.
Nathalie
She ain't
Emmanuel.
leaving that. Yeah, she ain't leaving
It's
that.
done.
Yeah,
It's the
well,
last season. They finished shooting.
That's it.
Oh
She
yeah. Well,
did.
okay. Did anybody see the Witch with Will Ferrell and Nicole Kidman?
Unfortunately.
It wasn't that bad. It's
That
like-
was
What?
the bubble guts,
That was-
man.
That's your chocolate daddy. Chocolate daddy.
Straight chocolate daddy. Hey, that was egg salad left in a hot car, man. That was bubble guts. Bubble guts.
You're saying there was some raw and nasty shrimp left in the bar? Okay.
Oh yeah,
man.
Jay.
Right.
That was bubble
I didn't think
guts
it was that bad either.
I didn't either. I'm like, it was. I mean,
It
it was
was
like,
a Bewitched remake.
yeah, that was a throwback to like, oh, okay.
that
Like,
we did
now-
the
Who?
You know,
Right.
Go back to who, though, fellas?
I mean, there's only like maybe
Who?
5 remakes that are actually worth looking at. Like, most of them aren't
Were
needed.
you screaming for that? Were you screaming for that Bewitched remake? Was anybody
I
screaming
got
for
to
it?
see Bewitched. I got
You
to
know?
see Nah.
No, if you say,
You know-
Will Ferrell pitches you Bewitched, I think I'd be like, you're the lead? Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I take that.
You know.
I know.
I'm gonna tell you another show they redid, The Flintstones. And you all see what happened with that?
All right, let me ask this question then. Is there any show from any time period, from you watched back in the days where if you were watching the syndication or when you were a little kid watching it from the 60s, 70s, 80s, or even 90s that you would pay money to see a well-done movie remake?
Yeah, we covered this. Yeah. Greatest American Hero, right? I forget. Everybody had their one or two. There are so many shows that they should bring back, either in a film capacity or the small screen. But you got to pick it. You got to get it right. You can't just bring it back because it was popular. Yeah, it was popular, but it may not work today. And you may not be able to translate it to today. Like I look at Hawaii Five-0, right? And I'm like baffled by its popularity and why it works until I watched it. And it works because they've got a pretty good cast. These are all people that have been around the TV on different shows all over the networks, right? Chi McBride, what's my man that was on Law and Order? They got Jimmy Kahn's son. So it works. It's not all over the place. It's not just Book 'em Dano every week. They made it work and they modernized it, right? That's one thing you got to do. And you also got to tap into a show that you can retell this story or tell it in a different way that applies to today. Like Bewitched, we just poked holes all through it. We just poke holes all in it. Hawaii Five-0, something like that. You can take that all over the place. A show like, I don't know, let's spitball real quick. A show like Miami Vice doesn't work for today because there was something unique happening in that city at that time that resonated for a story to be told about vice cops in drug-filled Miami, cocaine-fueled Miami. And it was the 80s. It was neon excess. It worked. You couldn't do that today. You couldn't do it today. And that's the thing that I think the studios have to look at when they start saying, when they're wholly devoid of ideas and they start scraping the bottom of the bag looking for anything that they can put out there, you got to say, okay, well, what translates to today? And they're not doing that.
All right, Chief. How about you? With something new that you would reboot. You can say, hey, I got the power. I can make this. I can cast who I want and take care of everything.
You know what I might do, man? I might do a Twilight Zone reboot.
Mm-hmm.
I used to enjoy the Twilight Zone. And not just because, I mean, it was some of the joints, you know, a lot of the stories, man, ended messed up.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I enjoy a story that doesn't end all is well. And perfect example, I didn't get to go see it in the movie theater. I wanted to, but the times were never good for me. It was on Amazon the other day, and I bought it. Upgrade.
Oh yeah,
I saw Upgrade. Dude, that ending was messed up, and it made me love the movie. Right there off the break. I mean, the movie was exciting. You know, it had its little. You know, I mean, you can't dwell too hard on the story, but you know, just watching it for the action or whatever. At the end of that movie, the way that thing ended, so messed up, I loved it, and that's what I loved about the Twilight Zone. And there used to be a show called Monsters that came on, and that was a great show. I used to watch every week. I remember a particular show where this vampire would lure people to his castle, his room or something, and kill them. So this particular night, he lures, I can't remember if it was a guy or girl, but he lured somebody back to his room, and that person turned out to be a werewolf, and ended up, killing them. But it was one of those things where
that wasn't on Creepshow, or like Tales from the Crypt.
No, I thought this was on the thing called Monsters.
I remember that episode. That's why I'm like,
they adopted a werewolf.
But you know what though,
it was parents that were vampires.
You know what though? Between Twilight Zone, Monsters, The Hitchhiker, Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, I'm not saying they recycled stories, but they had so many stories to tell that sometimes you would think it was on one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it would seem like, okay, yeah, they were all over. There were so many of those stories being told, and maybe told a different way on this show and that. But those serials, oh man, you brought me back.
Okay, hold on. The one,
Devon.
Hmm.
No, go ahead, James. I'll make my point.
No, okay. What I was gonna say is like Black Mirror on Netflix is very much like the Twilight Zone. I mean, it's like, after that first episode, I still have them like, yeah, that was after. I mean, it's like it's taking me a couple episodes, like weeks to get like, all right, I can play on episode 2. But I mean, that's more very much like this generation's Twilight Zone. Like I know it's probably not as popular, but I think that if you might want to give that a try and see like, oh yeah, that very much gives you the Twilight Zone vibe.
Yeah, but it's a popular show. And I'm saying that if that came to, not everybody, I'm assuming we may all have Netflix, but not everybody has Netflix. That might make a good TV show. Matter of fact, you were saying the episode, I'm pretty sure this was Monsters, and they had an episode, man, where 2 people were in 2 different missile silos, and all of a sudden something went wrong, nuclear war happened. And so you're getting to know these two different characters from the two different silos after the world is, pretty much destroyed. So when the world is destroyed, they're in darkness and vampires come out. And these vampires keep luring people, the 4 people left from their silos. So the joint ended with the last person left in the silo. Everybody else is out there, a vampire. And the vampire saying, come on out. And he's like, no, I'm not coming out. And the vampire's like, well, we got all the time in the world. And he starts punching the code 000 and 001 and 002. And that's how it ended. And I was like, God, that episode, I cannot find that. That episode is still on my mind. Because after it ended, I was like, gosh, damn. Like, eventually they're going to get the code, get in and kill him. And it was just one of them joints that just got me like that. So I miss TV shows like that. That after it ends, you think about it for a minute. Like, damn. And I find that I think about very little after an episode ends. I think about it very little. Like it's unless something significant happened. And usually in those shows, the whole episode is something of significance. Every episode is different. So they've got to put a good foot forward with the episode. You know what I mean? So you don't get that lull episode. You don't get that Walking Dead episode where nothing happens. Right. Every episode, something happens. Yeah. So that's me, Jeff. I think that's I'd like to see something like that come out. Something that every episode they've got to come up because it puts pressures on the writers to even deliver a good product every time. You know what I mean? You can't sleep through an episode.
So you're all about those anthology kind of shows.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. I do enjoy a good show, man. I mean, like I said, like Jay said, the Black Mirror show. Everybody, they're good. Everybody, I went through them. The season was only like 4 episodes long for whatever reason, but I sat there and watched all the seasons and that day. So it is what it is.
Okay, well, speaking of TV shows and series that we all end up watching, we got some, to me, very exciting and good news about this upcoming Arrowverse. Superman and Lois Lane are going to be joining the 3-part Arrowverse crossover in December. That's in Flash, Arrow, and closing out with Supergirl. Legends are benched on this one, so we only get 3. And we already know that this one's going to be debuting Batwoman. So with Superman returning, which is great because Tyler Hoechlin, or however you pronounce his last name, is great in that role. And we're also going to get Lois Lane. Chase, what do you think about this? Because I know you're excited about our boy Superman coming back.
Wait, but he's in Madagascar saving the one little area, so he's too busy to deal with the world killers.
It's a totally different thing. Focus.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's a crossover, right? Okay, got it. Yeah, I think Supergirl really lacked last season by not having him in any episode because it made no sense. It was like there was this giant threat, and they never basically even bothered mentioning Superman. So Tash announced that he's coming back for at least 3 episodes. I think that's a good thing, and it'll kind of it's going to be funny. Like the rest of the Arrowverse is going to be like, oh wait, there's 2 of you guys. Oh, we're like so JV class. Okay, like only one over here actually can do anything like y'all is Flash. So we're gonna stay over here now. But Lois Lane, I wonder who they're gonna cast for it. I hope they go with a very traditional, just don't try and go out of left field and make this some bigger than it needs to be. Just make Lois Lane. Don't listen to don't listen to that voice in your head saying do something wild and stupid. Don't do that. Just make
so
Lois
you don't
Lane.
Want to see Lois be a bisexual? Is that what you're saying?
Just everything, just spitball that you could think of. Don't just ignore it. I'm gonna channel Ving Rhames on this. Just ignore that ish, okay?
All right.
Yeah. So if they make a good casting for Lois Lane, I'm gonna be excited. And so it's just don't do anything stupid. Like,
all right, start thinking, because at the end of this discussion, I want to hear who you want to see as Lois Lane. Javon, Superman's coming back, and he's bringing Lois with him. You interested in this crossover now anymore, or kind of the same?
No, same interest level, which is slim to none. I mean, how much involvement is he really going to have? It's just going to be a screen time. Screen time.
I think that actor is really good for the role, and even if he doesn't do anything all that significant, just him interacting with Green Arrow and the Flash will be fun.
It might be.
Folks like me have been waiting to see Superman interact with those guys for a while.
Bring it on. Let's see what he does. But I got a bad feeling it's going to be just for show. Superman's here, and that's it.
All right, Chief. How about you? What do you think?
This is for an episode, right? Or maybe an episode or two?
He's going to be in all 3 episodes of the crossover. Now, I don't know if he's going to be showing up in any other episodes during the rest of the season, before or after, but he's definitely there for those 3 episodes of Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl.
I mean, okay, so he showed up in Supergirl. I mean, do you guys when he showed up, did you say, "Oh, this is great"? Do you remember greatness?
I did.
Because I don't remember
really
greatness.
Did a good job as a character.
Listen, it's not about him. It's about the writers. It's still always about them. I mean, Supergirl beat Superman the last time he showed up, from what I remember. Right?
Yeah.
In the back when that happened in that episode.
That did not happen. Okay. No. Don't that just
you know what I mean? And now that she knows the cake trick, she's even more powerful. So my whole point is this: it's not like we've seen the Superman in this universe before. It's the guy who plays Superman. I'm not gonna say he does a bad job. They're writing him to where they've already made him weaker than Supergirl coming in. You know what I mean? And at points during the season when Superman should have definitely showed up on Supergirl, they didn't bring him. So you got these world destroyers, and he doesn't show up for that. So what does he show up on these crossovers for? It's like, what could be next? You know what I mean? Are you going to show up for these world destroyers but not these world destroyers? Or it'll probably be something silly, like Nacho Cheese Man. And Superman, Superman shows up. You know what I mean? So he was, like I said, he's from the Supergirl universe. He should have showed up in more episodes of Supergirl. Plus, there's no way they should have had Supergirl beat him. Now you've taken him down a peg. And then you're trying to hype us up on the back end of that. But I'm like, hold up, Superman's he's not a star. He's gotten beat. You know what I mean? So if he had done a couple of cameos in Supergirl where they needed him and he came through, you know what I mean? And not even where he Superman came, all is good, just where he just fought in the fight. You know what I mean? It didn't have to be like a Justice League situation where he beat my man so easily. He could just came in and just been part of the fight. You know what I mean? They didn't do that for him, so it doesn't excite me. This Flash, I like. I don't watch Arrow. Supergirl has gotten to the point where it's crazy me to the point where I don't want to hear super in anything. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. Like I said, I don't know how you give them such weak cameos and then try to help hype them up for the crossover. Oh, guess who's coming? And Lois Lane. That's what we talking about. Like, like Jimmy's weak. You know what I mean? Jimmy's character, the like I said, his superhero guys. You're like, what? I mean, all the supporting characters. He was dating Lois Lane's sister. She came in, and she was, you know what I mean? Like that whole Jimmy Lois Lane's sister thing was just lame. Like they didn't build on that. We're gonna bring her here for a couple of episodes, and then she'll leave. Like, listen, I don't. Lois Lane. What does it matter? Does Lois Lane fly in this? Does she do anything? It's not even his series. Why is she there? That's the question. Why would Lois Lane be in the middle of the fight for the crossover? Like, so, and then to hype it for us. Like, yo, Lois, you know Lois is going to be there. All right. You know, they should put Margot Kidder in there. That's who should be Lois Lane. And like I said, man, you know, this I'm not excited, man. They've castrated Superman with this Supergirl universe, and now they're gonna give us castration, man, super castration. Does he fly? He just walks everywhere. He's a Superman getting off a bus.
Oh man, getting out of Uber.
All right, I'm done. All right, right.
Wow, Chief. You know, man, you always have such strong feelings on these things. Whew. All right, Javon, I'm giving you some time. If you come up with the Lois Lane that would be appropriate for this Arrowverse crossover.
The Lois Lane, like the actress?
Yeah, just, you know, we're doing a little quick casting here.
I love me some what's her name? Fiona from Shameless. What is her name? I think she'd be a perfect Lois Lane.
Emmy Rossum.
Emmy Rossum. God bless.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I think
indeed.
she'd be a perfect.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, she'd be a perfect Lois
She's
Lane.
perfect for anything.
Anything.
She'd be perfect as the Superman role. I would watch that if she was Superman.
I'd watch if she was the Arrow and the Flash. I wouldn't give it that. Yeah, Emmy Rossum. So there's that. I mean,
right,
any young dog-haired girl, you know, deliver.
Well, maybe
lines.
they'll make her blonde, because most of the people who are blonde in the Arrowverse, they kind of switch over and make them brunette. So maybe they do something like that. Maybe they give Lois a shave, side cut, give her a mohawk, and dye her hair pink.
Jeff, I told you that.
It takes
Whatever comes on your head, just throw that out. Like, just no, none of that.
No?
All right. None of it.
All right, Jay, who you got?
Okay, I got two people already in the CW family ready to go. They've been hanging out on Vancouver. They love Vancouver. Vancouver's nuts. It's just awesome to them. So I got one, Lucy Hale. Number two is Nina Dobrev from the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
Like those are my two. Hey, just you know what you're acting like. I mean, they've done the acting in Vancouver, like brunettes. It's like they look. I mean, Lucy Hale has a strong. She's had some good, strong personality roles from Pretty Little Liars. So, and I'm sure. And after seeing Nina in what was that, Vander Cage Part 2? I mean, she tells she has a little more range than I would have thought from watching the Vampire Diaries. Other than by watching, the commercials. So those are two. I think we can work with those. So
okay.
Their shows just got canceled. They're fine.
All right. A while back, I asked you guys which shows desperately need to be taken off the air. What are you canceling if you had the pen? And after 12 seasons, The Big Bang Theory is going to be ending. What do you guys think about this ode to Nerdland and social misinteraction with women?
Thank God.
All right, Javon, what do you think?
Close the door. Close the door. How much bazinga could you really take? 12 years of it? Anybody I know who was watching that show when it was popular, when it was like the number one show to watch and everybody was talking about that's been 10 years. At least 08, 09. Yeah, get rid of it. Something else. 12 years of that? Nah, we don't need it. 14 years of it, right? You said 14?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's 12. 12 years. 12 years.
12, yeah. 12 years, yeah. 6 years too long. Should have been off the air. Take Modern Family with you.
Hey, Javon, you still here? Oh, we didn't hear you. You said take. Oh, you said take Modern Family too.
Yeah, take Modern Family with you.
Okay.
Take Modern Family. Take what do you call it? Law and Order. Just take them. Take them. Nobody will miss it.
They'll come up with a new Law and Order. Don't worry. I mean, just
Right. They'll take that one off. Law and Order Milwaukee.
hey, Milwaukee's a fine city, dang you.
SVU.
Santa Monica.
All right,
Santa Monica.
what are you thinking? Did you watch Big Bang Theory? You upset, nonchalant about it?
I just started to watch Big Bang Theory. I hadn't been watching it, so I just started watching it. So it wasn't bad. The episode is always pretty good, but after 12 seasons of something, 12 seasons of anything is enough time. So what should be what we should, and I guess maybe it's time for it to go. They all got to end at some point, right? Everything has its run, and take the Simpsons with you,
Please.
So you know what I mean? Because I think the Simpsons has been on since I was in high school, and I haven't heard anybody even mention a Simpsons episode in 10 years.
Chief, the
and
Simpsons
that thing's still going. I don't.
30 years. 30 years. Nearly 30 years.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. I remember when it started with the Tracy Ullman show. And like I said, at this point in time, so, at this point in time, I mean, how long we going to rock the Simpsons? So, I mean, like I said, at some point, everything has to end. So maybe it's just time for it to end. Like I said, I haven't watched it, so I get the pleasure of going through the seasons and checking it out. And that's the beauty of not watching a show till the,
for years.
So I get to, for years. That's like I hadn't seen Game of Thrones till like season 5, and I spent a couple weekends watching that. So that's a good time. You know what I mean? So that's why that's just my thoughts.
Jace, how about you? You care whatsoever?
I think our resident Big Bang Theory expert is actually on assignment this week. I never got into this show. I'm not a big fan of the comedies with the giant laugh track. It's like, it's funny. I mean, like half the jokes, like that's why I never got into, 2.5 Men. Any of those CBS comedies, they beat you over the head with the laugh track. I mean, like How I Met Your Mother was the least funny before, like, they decided, let's, just in case you didn't think Barney was hilarious, let's amp up this laugh track. Ha, ha, ha! And Big Bang, basically, as soon as they started, they did that, and I was never a fan of that. I think Melvin said they got better when they introduced the female characters, but they've been on there for probably 6-7 seasons now, too. So, I'm like I said, like Chief and Javon said, it's probably time to wrap that run up.
Ain't no shame. You've been on the air for 14 years.
You keep giving them 2 extra years.
Man, he's giving them 2 extra paychecks, man. What are you, the Knicks trying to help Allen Houston out? Come on, man.
You've been on the air for 17 years, man. No, it just feels like it because that show is. Anytime you've been on for a decade, man, it feels like you've been on the air for 2 decades. It's like when guys, there's a 4-year college ball player. You feel like he's been playing there since you were in your early 20s. You know what I mean? It was at Jerry McNamara from Syracuse. You felt like he was playing there for 10 years.
That's true. That's because they kept insisting he was going to be the next great player.
Yeah, right.
McNamara! All right.
They love saying his name.
They did. So we got this DC universe, and they are continuing to pump out news. Kevin Smith is going to be on a daily show, if I remember reading that correctly, and Brendan Fraser is going to be joining the Doom Patrol cast as the voice of Robot Man. It's been a long time since we've seen Brendan Fraser doing much of anything. What do you guys think about this? Are you more intrigued about checking out Doom Patrol now that Encino Man is going to be voicing him?
Okay. I'm as soon as we're off this call, I'm actually gonna do my pre-order for DC Universe to get my three months free. I mean, if the DC does something that actually has a positive step for their larger live action universe, I'm for it. Like Brendan Fraser probably has a voice. If you don't see him, you might not even remember it is Brendan Fraser. So, but he actually is like, man, he's taking control of the role. But so him on Doom Patrol, that's cool. Like I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to do the Doom Patrol. But I guess I'll have to see when it actually comes out. But hey, that could be good for him. I mean, good for the DC universe.
Chief Javon, you got any thoughts on it? Are you thinking about getting DC Universe?
No.
What does DC? I haven't looked into it. What's DC Universe actually offer?
Well, they've got access to all of their movies, and so like from Superman, Supergirl, Burton, etc., Batman films, access to their comic books, and you have access to exclusive figures, and they have original content TV shows, including the live-action Titans, the animated third season of Young Justice, a live-action Doom Patrol, Stargirl and the Justice Society, and a Harley Quinn animated series. I think a Swamp Thing show as well. I think maybe a couple other ones, but that's what immediately comes to my mind. So it's a lot of good content. Most of it is coming next year, but Titans is dropping later on this year. And if you sign up now, you can pay, I think it's $70 and $70 for 12 or for 15 months.
$70.
That's what
That's for a year.
Yeah.
That's less than Netflix.
Yeah, but does it have the content? I mean,
you think every DC movie you get like all of the old Batman movies, you get all of the current Batman movies, you get all the Superman movies, you get and I don't know, like I'm assuming Smallville, I don't know if that's been confirmed. Like
Smallville,
I mean,
come on, that'll make me not buy it.
I mean, it's like like, and I think it's gonna have all the DC animated movies, and I can no confirmation yet, but I'm assuming you probably have same day access to the new movies that you're already. I mean, especially for streaming folks, like you get that already, so you're paying less than what you get for the streaming movie. So I mean, sounds like a great deal to me. I mean, of course, I just said I was gonna buy it, so.
Yeah, I was trying to look up real fast for you, Chief. It's a pretty decent deal. It's like $5 for 15 months. So it's a quality deal. Of course, like Jace, you said, it just depends on the content. Looks like there's some games on there too. I'm sorry, that's a comic book. So it's the Batman animated series, Watchmen. You can watch movies like Superman, Mask of the Phantasm, Swamp Thing, all the recent stuff that's gone on in the comic book world, all of the animated movies, so Flashpoint Paradox, Dark Knight Returns, the old school films, let's see, and Wonder Woman, Batman animated TV series and HD. Let's see. And then you can read comic books from Action Comics #1 all the way down to the current Rebirth stuff. And let's see. Members only merchandise, which you will be paying for. And looks like that's it for now. But that's a ton of stuff. And if you're a DC fan, there's a lot of incentive to get it. So yeah, I'm down with it. Good plan, and probably will be getting it too. Now, the real catch is if Titans does not succeed, if that doesn't work, how that could affect the brand. Or at least until Young Justice Season 3 comes out. All right, so Crazy Rich Asians. debuted at #1 at the box office. That seemed to be the case, as all the experts predicted, and a sequel is already in the works now. So, yay for diversity. Did any of you guys happen to go check it out? Are you going to? Jace, let's start with you.
Yeah, I planned on seeing it last week, but the movie theaters around here had it in horrible times. I don't think they really believed in the movie. They basically made it so if the movie was like 2 hours long, they put it in like every 3 hour blocks around here. I was actually a little annoyed. I ended up seeing Equalizer, but I think this weekend I'm going to go check it out.
Okay. Javon?
Oh yeah, I want to see it. It's just I don't like the fact already a sequel. They don't waste time in Hollywood, boy.
Well,
They
this
do
one,
not waste time.
this movie is based off of a trilogy of books, so it was more of a case of as long as it's kind of like when the first Harry Potter gets made. Like, we're assuming that people are gonna like it.
We already
So,
planned it out. Okay.
yeah.
It's like, it's
Gee,
not like
as long as
the Virgin series where they basically it does so bad they're just like, we're not even making the sequel. Just forget it. We're done.
Let's forget it. Yeah, I'm gonna see
Watch
it.
Divergent. Chief, how about you? You going to see it?
Yeah, I see it. If the staff comes to the house, the actors sit me down in a chair, strap me to it, and then pry my eyes open and make me watch it. And then yes, it will be watched.
So, not
if
on
that's
your
the
list
case, yes.
Okay.
No.
So, moving on, James Bond 25 was set to come out next year, and the director, Danny Boyle, has decided, due to creative differences, that he will not be part of the film, and he will not be heading it up. So that puts Bond 25 in kind of a odd position because it may not be coming out next year now, unless they can get somebody quickly to keep the film on track. It was slated for... it was one of those deals where it was going to come out probably late, or it was set for November 8th. And with the director who has not started shooting, that could cause some problems. Who do you guys want to see direct this film? Are you excited about Daniel Craig coming back for another adventure as James Bond? And if not, what would make you more excited about the next Bond film? Chief, let's start with you.
I'm just not one of those guys who, for the most part, get into what director I like best. So I don't care who directs it, to be honest with you, as long as it doesn't come out like that first Incredible Hulk comic book style. And the second thing is, Daniel Craig was a good James Bond. I had no problem with him as Bond. So, if he comes back, I'd love to see him. And if he doesn't, at this point, we've been through what? In my lifetime, 4 or 5 Bonds at this point. We started out with Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Pierce Bronson, I think, was a Bond. And there was another. Was there somebody else in between? Daniel Craig. So, we've had Bonds. So, eventually the character, the actor gets older, doesn't want to do it anymore, gets a different Bond. I don't want to see Josh Gad as James Bond, but, but, yeah, so, now shout out to Josh Gad, though, because he's funny as hell. But yeah, so it doesn't matter if like I said, if he comes out and does it, I'll go see it. If he doesn't, I'll still go see it. Bond movies, they tend to be, for the most part, these new era Bond movies tend to be pretty good. Over the years, like that after Roger Moore, they kind of lost a little something in the substance, but they're coming back now. Daniel Craig has brought the franchise back. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to it.
All right, Javon?
A scenario I'd like to see is Ryan Coogler directing Idris Elba as Bond, but we know there's no way in hell that's going to happen. We'll see we'll see Donald Trump during the State of the Union address drop his pants and yell, "I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy boy," before we see that happen. I'm going to tell you this. Henry Cavill's going to be the next Bond. He's going to be the next Bond.
He could work. I would be down to see him as Bond. Not a bad choice. Jace, what about you?
All right. I was trying to look this up kind of quick, but maybe Ridley Scott. He's done some action movies recently. I'm actually more concerned of what would Bond 25 be about. I mean, I know they introduced Blofeld at the end of was it Spectre? But if it's gonna be Bond 25, you got to make it kind of epic. I mean, this is gonna probably wrap up Daniel Craig's run as James Bond. So he's been like very different as Bond. He's never been one cracking all the jokes. He's like kind of he's the jaded one who gets like jaded before he starts finding his humor or whatever the heck. So you kind of got to figure out how you make this epic story transitioning him into the Sean Connery, Roger Moore, James Bond versus the kind of stoic action dude. So, like I said, maybe Ridley Scott. I probably would do a little more research. Heck, maybe F. Scott Gray. He could probably tackle it, do a little something different. So, but yeah, maybe try and, like I said, maybe try something different. But you got to kind of make James Bond 25 good, so got to find a good one.
All right. So Jace had this idea for us, so we're going to try to knock it out here. There have been a ton of movies, tons of comedies that have had sequels. Some good, some bad, some tragically awful. And so on tonight's show, we're going to try to break down the best and worst comedy sequels. So, Jace, since this is your idea, why don't you start things off for us?
All right, I'm going to start you off with the worst, because I think that's easier. There was a funny movie. It's like, the premise of this is ridiculous. Like, two guys, little kind of slackers, but, you know, one's a hard worker. I'm sorry, they're not slackers. One's a hard worker, one's trying to figure out how to live just like his boss, because his boss is doing well. I'm talking about Weekend at Bernie's, folks. Weekend at Bernie's was funny. It's like they're running around with a dead guy. They're getting into hijinks. It's a fun time. Unfortunately, some genius, maybe they had a great box office weekend and thought, you know what? We could do this again. And they decided to make Weekend at Bernie's 2. The boss is dead in the first movie. So the second one, they decided, hey, let's kind of bring him back to life with some voodoo magic. It'll work out fine, right? It did not work at all. Once you wasted your probably 78 to 90 minutes watching this movie, you are going to think once again, I could have used this time better doing almost anything than watching this movie. So that is my initial sequel that did not work.
All right, Javon, what you
got? Worst? We're doing worst and best, right?
Yeah.
Jace, where's your best? Or are you coming back to him?
All right, Jace, go ahead. Let's hit your best first.
I was going to come back to it.
Okay, all right. We do the worst first then. All right. Any sequel to an Eddie Murphy comedy. Take your pick. They're all bad. It's all bad. Beverly Hills Cop 2, 3, terrible. Nutty Professor 2, garbage. What else? Another 48 Hours. Oh God, Chocolate Daddy. It's all bad. Anytime Eddie's suited up for a sequel to one of his movies, it's bad. So any of the Eddie sequels, and there's tons more, but I'm just going right there is where we're gonna keep it right now.
Chief. What you got?
A worst sequel. Oh, bad sequel. I'm trying to think of one now. Hold on. Come back to me in like 2 minutes.
All right. Let's see.
Right.
You good? Okay. For me, it is very clear and obvious. Legally Blonde 2. I really liked that first film. The second one made me never want to see another Legally Blonde installment again. It was terrible. And all of the fun that seemed to come so natural and easy in the first one just felt so lazy and uninspired in the sequel. I mean, there's just nothing about that film that I liked. So when I think of bad sequels in general, not even comedy sequels, that one is always near the top of one of my least favorites. And since we can snake back around, I'm going to now go with of my favorite comedy sequels, and that's Naked Gun 2.5. Those films were all funny to me, and it was just Leslie Nielsen was just hilarious, and his deadpan delivery and just every sight gag, bad pun, stupid scenario, and just outrageous. I mean, it was so much outrageousness in those films, but they were so smart and so funny. Everything that Happytime Murders is not. It cracks me up. So love those films. Love that sequel. One of my favorite comedy sequels. Jay King, how about you?
Oh, God. Trying to think, man. Good comedic sequels. There aren't many. I had to really think about that. There aren't a ton that you could say was as good as Naked Gun. Yeah, that's right there. But overall, if I had to pick one, God, man, I'm really trying to think. I wanted to say Bogus Journey, but
Yeah.
Bogus Journey for a lot of folks, Bogus Journey was garbage. Like, I
For a
kicked
lot of
that
other folks,
around.
they say Bogus Journey is good too. So it seems like it's
Right,
really in the middle on it.
It's in the middle. If I had to pick, I'm going to say Batman and Robin. That was hilarious.
That was not a comedy.
That was hilarious. It was a comedy. It was a comedy. That's my pick, Batman and Robin. They came back big time in that series. They made that one funny as hell.
Javon, they weren't trying to make it funny. The bat nipples were supposed to be taken seriously.
You could have fooled me, Jeff, because that, to me, was the funniest movie of 1997. And 98, whenever it came on, funniest movie of the year. I loved it. I thought that was the best comedy of the 90s. Forget something about Mary, all that. No, Clueless, all that. Batman and Robin was the funniest movie of the 90s.
Jace, what do you got?
Okay, so in my best, polarizing though it may be, and it created one of the worst sequels because everybody complained and cried that it was too much like the first one. But I'm going to go with The Hangover Part 2.
Good choice.
The Hangover Part 2, yes, it took the same formula, but it actually had some new characters around. You actually had a reason why some of the people weren't there. That movie was hilarious. I mean, and I didn't have to see what's his name's joint running around. I was a happy camper. There were some scenes that you did have to turn your eyes and wait. I know y'all talking about Bangkok. Turn your eyes now. But for the most part of that movie, even the joke that followed up that scene was just like, it was hard not to laugh at that. I mean, there's just so many good scenes in there, and him being drunk and randomly in Thailand, in Bangkok just was a perfect next step for that movie. So, Hangover Part 2 is definitely my favorite sequel, other than Naked Gun 2.5. The Smell of Fear.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right,
Hey, Jeff.
Yo.
So this came on TV 2 nights ago, and I watched it. The first episode, the first Conan. So if you watch the first Conan, when you watch the second one, you're like, what the hell? So that was the sequel didn't make sense because they did
you're calling that a comedy?
No, I didn't give you my 2 bags.
Okay, I got you.
He's getting the wind up.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I just did my first bad sequel, right? Was it a comedy bad sequel?
Comedy.
Or just bad sequel the first time around?
Comedies.
Oh, just comedy bad sequel. A comedy bad sequel. Jesus. I might have to go with my man Javon here. Shoot. That Eddie Murphy Part 2 was garbage.
Which one?
Was that the Alphabet Crimes? The Beverly Hills Cop with the Alphabet Crimes.
Oh God, yeah. Take your pick. It's
that
all
was
bad.
That was a horrible one. For a sequel. I'm trying to think of another sequel that was bad, man. And then a good comedy sequel.
Yep.
Ooh. A good comedy sequel. I'm trying to think that I like anything that came out again. Deadpool 2. I thought Deadpool 2 was a comedy. Yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. Part 2. So I guess Eddie Murphy. That joint was a horrible. The Alphabet Crimes. Oh shoot! Yeah, what are you gonna do, man? The 80s was a good time, though.
All right, well, those are solid choices all around. Fellas, any nominees for your TV, movie, Hollywood Dummy of the Week? Jace, let's start with you.
I neglected I think it was a couple weeks ago. You actually made us do an assignment for Big Brother. The girl who. No, I mean, it's like, because I neglected to mention it like a couple weeks ago. I feel like I got to bring it back up. The girl who decided she was so smart and put her target and told everybody she had a superpower that she could, change the game. And then magically she decided she needed to tell one person who told the whole damn house. And then the next week she got backdoored out of there. So, what's her name? Shaggy C. I can't remember his name. Swaggy P. Swaggy C. Whatever. Yeah. So, what was the girl's name, Jeff? Beth or
Bailey.
Bailey. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say Bailey, even though it was a couple weeks ago. She's actually my TV dummy of the week.
Well, Jace, if you're continuing to watch it, there's a new candidate from this week's run.
Oh, okay.
And he may have made an even more idiotic game move. Javon, how about you?
I gotta say the fans of AGT, America's Got Talent, because I gotta throw myself in the mix because I really enjoy watching that show sometimes. It's a geek show because a lot of times you end up laughing at the people who are auditioning because they're going to show the bad auditions. But the last 2-3 seasons, I've noticed more and more that they've got all of these ringer candidates, these ringer contestants who've been on international versions of this show or in other shows in the same kind of vein, and we believe them to stay. They're only going to do. They're going to trot out these folks, and they're only going to do what they do. The creators of the show, Simon Cowell, whoever else, the folks who are responsible for putting on this show, are going to source the talent, and they're going to do what they do. They give you the heartwarming backstory or whatever. They try this person out, and you, the dumb viewer, think that, oh my God, this is the first time this person's getting to perform. A lot of these people have been gigging around the world for years. There's no such thing as undiscovered raw talent when you get to these shows. It's all set up. And I say the audience because this week people are just now finding out that like 5 or 6 of the contestants that made it to the live rounds are winners or were finalists on like the UK version of The Voice. Asia's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent. So it's just a recycled pool of performers that makes its way to the American market, and we don't know any better by the time they walk across that stage. So it's for the audience of AGT. We got had. You got played with the dummies.
Chief, you got anything?
This is I was just thinking of something too. Run back to the topic real quick.
Dummies of the week.
Oh, there it was. Affleck. When you're an alcoholic, but a millionaire dozens of times over, get the liquor man to come inside to deliver your liquor. You know they're watching you. It doesn't make any sense to get caught doing something you're not supposed to. I was like, yo, he's an alcoholic, but he's got the liquor guy outside. You met him outside? Didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, you got to be better. I mean, you want to drink. This is the purpose of you calling them over. Yet, in plain view, you take delivery of the bottle. I'd have been like, sir, can you step in? I'd have closed the door. I'd have took the bottles from him. He would have walked out with whatever. No one would have been wiser. He's out in the open air just, hey, listen, let me get this liquor up off you. You know, that's like buying guns outside. You know, right by the precinct. Nah, man, just pull up into the precinct. Pop the trunk. Let me see what kind of guns you got. Police freeze. Oh my God, how did this happen? You know, it doesn't make sense, man. So that's my dummy of the week. If you're gonna do something you're not supposed to be doing, you gotta be better.
Well, can't argue with any of that. Fellas, thank you as always. And everyone out there, hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back better than ever next week. For now, we're rolling out of here. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.